Welcome back, Majors. Natasha again. Last week in our Manna You Moments series of Transform Minds, Impact Cultures, we discussed what it means to live surrendered lives that are not conformed to this world. This week, we're going to continue Romans 12 with the next part of verse 2. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. It can feel much easier said than done when we talk about living countercultural to our world. Everywhere we turn, we witness things that are contrary to our biblical worldview. However, in the last 2 weeks, we discussed that despite what our world looks like, we are called to live as transformed people whose lives are not formed by our culture. But as we know, transformation is not a one-and-done process, but an ongoing one that requires us to remember two things. One, being transformed is more than a superficial or outer change in appearance. It is meant to be an inner work that bears both inner and outer fruit. That is why in Ephesians 4:23, we are commanded to be renewed in the spirit of our minds. Because ultimately, our thoughts will reflect the object of our worship, revealing what or whom our lives are patterned after. And two, transformation is an ongoing process, or what we call sanctification. In Romans 6:19b, the Apostle Paul challenges us to remember that we are to live as those who are set apart. For just as you once were presented your members as slaves to impurity and to lawlessness, leading to more lawlessness, so now present your members as slaves to righteousness, leading to sanctification. This means that not only are we called to be transformed, but we have an ongoing part to play as we submit our every thought to the one to whom we have committed our lives. Our enemy, the God of this age, as Paul calls him in 2 Corinthians 4:4, provides us with countless opportunities to conform to his world system. One way that he does this is in the place where the seeds of our actions grow, our minds. Meanwhile, all throughout the Gospels, we witness Jesus' interactions with others as he knew their thoughts. Yet each time he responded in a way that countered their thoughts with the thoughts of God's kingdom. Why? Because as God reminds his people in Isaiah 55:8-9, that his thoughts and ways are higher than ours. Therefore, we need to be transformed in our minds to think like him so that our ways would be like his. My fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, we are called to be transformed world changers. Up until this point, you may not have thought of yourself that way. You may not even think you have enough talent or skill to have influence right where you are. But that is not what God believes about you. You and I are the vessels through whom heaven gets to impact the earth. God could have done it all by a simple breath, just as he did when he created the earth. Yet, he chose to redeem what was broken in us to reveal himself through us. The next time you come face to face with a trying situation, remember, you are transformed by the one who gave his all for you and me. See you next time, Majors.